Vlog 166. It's me, Jaime, the shut-in cartoonist, musician, vlogcasting, of course, from the Corn Tortilla Press World Headquarters, located here on a funky monkey little island located in the San Francisco Bay. Just finished my last cup of coffee for the day, and I just finished my water too. It's about 10 in the morning on a Tuesday after the Labrador weekend. The lighting outside has just been funky like a bow-legged monkey all morning. It's just like this orange-brown, science fiction ray just beaming down on us. But anyway, neither here nor there. What I want to talk about today is about tomorrow evening on Hulu. I hope you have Hulu, and I hope you do join in and watch Woke, W-O-K-E. My old pal, gentleman cartoonist Keith Knight has produced a television show, and let's hope it works. And it's going to be on tomorrow night. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to this. Keith works really hard. He's one of the hardest working men in cartoon biz. Very driven. And I don't have that much energy, especially now in my advancing years, but neither here nor there. I love Keith's energy, and he's always been a good pal. He always goes out of his way if he sees me to say hi, and I try to go out of my way to see him wherever he is. If we live on opposite coasts, so don't get to see each other much. But this brings me up to a Keith Knight story, and it's the very first time I met Keith, and I like this story. I've actually now over the years have had a few people come up to me and go, "Hey, aren't you the guy that almost made $5 off of Keith Knight?" And I'm like, you heard. And here's the story I will tell you all. It might have been, this is the part I have a hard time with, the time. It might have been 1990. If Keith sees this, maybe he can chime in and focus a little bit more, because it was when I'm talking to him, but it was when Keith first moved to the city, to San Francisco. Anyway, we'll just say 1990. And they had this consortium, this group of people that would meet every so often at bars, and they were called the Loonies. And it was made up of writers and artists and comedy writers and comedians and supposedly cartoonists. So I've always heard about them, but one night I finally decided to jump on the motorbike and head on over, and it was, this I do remember, it was at, I don't remember the name of the bar, but it was at a bar in the outer Sunset, kind of, for those of you in the know, down Parnassus somewhere past UCSF, and but in the small numbers of the avenues of the Sunset District. Anyway, so I motor down there, hop in, and the place is packed. Needless to say, it's mostly white men, because that's just, yes, even in San Francisco. And so I go and buy a pint of beer, and I start looking around for maybe somebody I know, and I don't recognize a soul in there. Now, keep in mind, at this point, we used to live in the city in the 60s when I was a kid, but I've been living there at this point, if it's 1990, about 8 years. And I was a cartoonist. I still am, but at that point, I was getting traction, big time traction at that point. And I was known outside of the city, but in the city, there was a small cadre of us that were in just about everything that came out every week. But there was a lot of trade papers. It was quite a golden time. And there was Nina Paley, myself, Brian Wilcox, Yugo Kobayashi, and Keith Knight. I mean, we were like the five. I remember hanging out with these people. And there were other folks. I would kind of hang out a little bit with Spain Rodriguez and S. Clay Wilson, were two idols and became pals of mine. It was quite a time. And so I'm thinking when I get into this bar, I'm going to see somebody. But I didn't, And if there were cartoonists in there, I didn't know everybody, but I knew a lot of people. And so I bought my pint and just kind of milled around the place. And I just kind of saddle up to a group, and just kind of listen. And if somebody asked me, "Oh, hi, what's your name?" "Oh, I'm Jaime." But that happened, but that was about it, And 2 different times in this bar, 2 different times on that night, I'd come up with my pint glass, just kind of stand there, and as people are chatting, I remember these guys that were close to me would look down at me, and then they just kind of turned their backs to me, kind of closed me off. So I was like, wow, this is, god damn. I guess, I bathed, I'm wearing nice clothes, I'm not being obnoxious or anything, I'm not even drunk, I'm just kind of just standing here. So this went on for like 45 minutes, and I was just like, this is boring, So I was already done my first beer, bought my second one, found the only table open was this tiny one-person table by the front door So I sat there with my sketchbook and my beer, and I just doodled in this dim lighting. And it was nighttime, and you know, people are hustling and bustling, drinking and yelling and hooping and hollering. So people are coming in and out. And at one point, I feel this presence. Somebody walked in, you know, but they stopped. That's what I felt. And they were just standing there. So I'm thinking, the hell's going on? So I look up, and there's this tall, skinny black kid. I mean, skinny, man. But he's wearing all black. He's got the black trench coat, black clothes, black pants, black boots. He's got this little strand of hair. You know, I'm going, oh, it's a goth kid, you know, so some goth guy standing there. But what really stood out to me was the big old bundle he had under his arm. I remember he had like sketchbooks and papers and folders, and it was just spilling out practically from his arm. And so this kid looks down at me, and he's doing like one of these numbers, you know, looking down at me, and he goes, hey, how's it going? So I'm kind of doodling. I look up, and I'm going, all right, how are you? You know, pretty good. Is there a cover charge to get in here? And that's where my brain kind of went, hold on, boss. I looked over at my pint glass. I had about this much beer left. So I was thinking to myself, boy, I can get a free beer out of this guy if I play my cards right and say there's a cover charge. But I decided not. So I said, nah, man, ain't no cover charge. You know, just come on in. He goes, oh, okay, well, my name's Keith. I go, oh, my name's Jaime. He goes, Jaime. He goes, and he looks down and sees I'm drawn. He goes, hey, are you Jaime Crespo? Which I was like, well, how do you know? Do I know you? You know, he goes, no, I know your work. And as I said earlier, you know, there's all these people, and you know, that were drawing. And when he got to town, which was somewhere just before this moment in time, he said he'd been admiring Nina Paley's work and my work. So I was like, oh, I was flattered, you know. So we got a beer and we chatted for a while. Then, you know, I bid him adieu and I went home, got back on the motorbike and went home. And the rest is history, you know. So let's wish Keith luck, man. Tomorrow, woke. I can't wait. I'm excited. You know, apparently it's the premise of the story is of that time period. Well, actually, probably when he's a little bit farther along, living in San Francisco as a cartoonist and all the stuff that goes on. So I can't wait to see it. It's going to be cool. I hope you support it too. And good luck, Keith, if you see this. And thank you all for joining me today, as usual. Today I'll be drawing, and I have to go to the post office and mail some stuff off. And, of course, go to the P.O. box and let the moth out. So if you go out like I'm going to do today, don't forget to mask up. Don't forget to wash and sanitize the hands. Don't forget to be kind to people too. Keep your distance, but be kind to everybody, and be kind to yourself. That's what I'm going to do. All right, everyone, don't forget to subscribe below if you want to, and thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.